Hi, I'm Flip Nicklin. Welcome to Humpback Chronicles. In just a little more than 4 weeks, it's going to be time for the 15th annual Whale Tales. Only not really, because Whale Tales didn't start out as Whale Tales. It started out as Whale Quest. And that's today's story. I just want to be clear that these are my recollections of the beginning of Whale Quest and Whale Tales. And I would not be surprised nor offended if other people who were there remember things a little differently. Towards the end of the whale season in 2005, Jim Darling and I were invited to dinner by a couple in Napili who had been supportive of our work. And over coffee at the end of the meal, when honestly I was just trying to stay awake, one of the guests, Gary Planos, the then golf pro from Kapalua Golf Course, told us that a manager at Kapalua Resorts was interested in some kind of a charity weekend, maybe involving whales, and did we have an idea? I had no idea, but I hoped I would have soon. A meeting was set up for the next Wednesday, and in a very short time, we were planning a whale festival for the following year, 2006, at the Ritz, and that Whale Trust, Jim and Megan and I, were going to run the thing, or at least quarterback the idea. And though we were responsible for the content and the show itself, the Ritz was tremendously supportive and picked up most of the cost. They also had people with experience putting on events, because we had none. So I guess there were three questions. First of all, who was going to talk? Who were the presenters going to be? Who was going to come? Were people really interested? And who was going to benefit? If we did make some money, where was it going to go? The idea really seemed pretty simple. We were going to have people doing research in the area, talk about the things they're doing to the community and people who were interested, and ask them to support the science and conservation efforts we were involved in. It didn't stay simple for very long. For one thing, we needed more entertainment than that was going to provide. So we invited the people who told our stories. We invited photographers and filmmakers, mostly people in the documentary world, who helped cover the work that we were doing and told it to the bigger audiences. For me, at least at the beginning, most of those people came from National Geographic. In those first couple of years, they included Catherine Moran, Senior Natural History Editor for National Geographic, David Griffin, Director of Photography for National Geographic, and Chris Johns, at the time Editor of National Geographic magazine. It was amazing who came. Famous cinematographer from Japan, Koji Nakamura, was all of a sudden giving photo tips to a very young Evan Daly, and I think it changed what Evan was going to do in the future. Whale Trust videographer Jason Sturgis was talking to local school kids, about what he was doing and the gear that he used. Jim Darling was painting whale tails in our front yard. It was an awful lot of work by a lot of people, and got people involved in the community in ways I think we never dreamed of. And for me, one of the biggest things was how it changed our society. It put whale researchers who were certainly competing for funding dollars, all of a sudden working together and doing something that was good for all of them, and I think for the community. And the community showed up in bunches. We had a little room downstairs at the Ritz that seated 140 people for the first event, and hundreds of people came. We had to do another set of talks starting the next morning. I gave 2 talks. My father gave 2 talks. The size of the room we were using went from 140 seats to over 600. People were interested. People wanted to know about what was going on. Whale Quest changed a bunch of relationships. Researchers and the community, and with each other, were influenced by being together working on this project. And certainly with the Ritz and Kapalua Resort's help, we started to make some money for research. It was a heady, very positive time, and then the recession hit, and it all went away. Come back next week for the death of Whale Quest, The Birth of Whale Tales, and the story about an angel. Thank you, and thank you for your support. Bye-bye.